Hey everybody, Tim here with today's episode of Discovery, Season 2, Episode 6, The Sound of Thunder, which is an odd phrase to me. I don't really like that. So anyways, moving on. Overall, it's an okay episode. I like how it is a sequel to the short treks, because I was a little bit worried that they weren't going to do anything with them. They're just going to be like, dismissed, and here's just something to get by until we get to the season. But this is like an actual sequel to that. Like, parts of it had been mentioned before, but like there's actual clips from that short trek in this episode, which I'll get to. So from the opening scene where they're going through the knowledge of the sphere, and I'd mention, like, I think that was just the dumbest thing, because I don't think they're going to do anything with it. And somebody actually commented, and they're like, no, it comes back. Okay, so it comes back for this season. I evidently don't remember it, because it just didn't make an impact on me. But still, like, I find 100,000 years worth of knowledge to be very odd. That, I don't know, I still have issues with that. We see Culber, who is clearly disturbed. Like, I get his whole resurrection thing. I'm glad he's back, but I still don't like how he came back. I don't know how I would have done it different, but I'm not getting paid to sit here to think about it. I'm just enjoying it, and I can bitch about it in my own time. So, I don't know. I'm glad he's back, but the whole thing, he's clearly, like, sketched out by it. He doesn't have any scars on his body anymore. He is pristine, as the nurse like to say. But overall, it'll be interesting to see how his character develops. Saru's homeworld, that I forgot to write down because it's a random name, is the new, like, where the new red light is going to show up. So this is where the clips from Short Trek show up, where 20 years ago, Lieutenant Georgiou made first contact with Saru. And that's what's weird now, is on this planet, there are two life forms, the Baul and the Kelpians. Saru's a Kelpian, and the Baul have created or have discovered warp drive. So we tried to make first contact with them, but they didn't want any part of it. And so we still can't really talk to the Kelpians, because the Kelpians are like a slave race to the Baul. But that's the whole thing, is 20 years ago, Saru managed to steal their technology, make a call for help, and then that's when Georgiou showed up. So it's really interesting, and you see these clips, and you actually see this encounter in the short trek. So I liked that. So Michael and Saru go down to the planet. We meet Saru's sister again, because we've already seen her in the short trek. And then this is, like, after this is where we start to realize that years ago, thousands of years ago, which is where the sphere's knowledge comes from, like, it shows how the populations have changed, and that years ago, the Kelpians were actually the predator, and the Baul were the ones that, like, were almost extinct. And slowly they changed, and the Baul has even, like, not only conquered them, but taken parts of that, like, genealogy out, which is, like, why they cut the Gangula, whatever, and, like, they basically die before they can evolve to that. Where in this episode, we see Saru actually go through that new evolution where, like, the spikes come out and he can shoot them from his neck. And it's really impressive. Like, it's like, damn, like, Saru's kind of scary at this point. So overall, like, as it continues, the Baul, like, activate the pylons, and the Red Angel appears, and because Saru has amazing eyesight, we realize that the Red Angel is a humanoid in a tech suit, presumably traveling around time from the future. So it's supposed to, like, add some, like, I don't know, interesting concept to the Red Angel. It doesn't for me. Like, I was just like, okay, like, that still doesn't answer any questions. Like, who cares if it's a person in a suit? Like, nobody thought it was actually an angel. But, like, I don't know. Like, it didn't create that mystery or make me more interested in it. I just was like, okay, like, and move it along. So, I don't know. I thought it was an interesting episode because it was a sequel to the short trek, but as a whole, like, it's not a great episode. It's just, it definitely feels more like a placeholder to continue the story. So, for those who saw it, what did you guys think? Go ahead, let me know, and I'll see you guys next time for Lights and Shadows.